President-elect Donald Trump nominated Robert F. Kennedy Jr. to preside over America's health, and that is now raising some questions on what he would do and what he would focus on if confirmed.
Well, he's going to have so much of an impact that they're talking about preemptively pardoning Fauci. But give him a fucking chance. Maybe he can fix this whole health system.
So it's no secret that there's been a lot of noise with RFK being nominated by Trump to be in charge of the Department of Health and Human Services. So, of course, I wanted to bring onto this show an expert who understands the movement Make America Healthy Again. She happens to have 50 years of experience in health and wellness. I'm talking about Kim Bright. Yeah, so I know that RFK, one of his cornerstones of his messaging is about the chronic illness. And what we eat obviously has something to do with it. So I wanted to just right out of the gate, Kim, if you want to just answer this for the audience. I mean, why do you think the FDA is so scared of this nomination?
Because he's going to expose them. He's going to expose the fraud, the corrupt things that have been going on for so many decades in this department. All of the things that have been put in our food on purpose to make money for certain companies, and including agricultural and pharmaceuticals, and they're all in cahoots to, and then the bad, it's not a healthcare system, it's a sick care system. They're all in cahoots. They're all greasing each other's hands all these years. He's going to go in and he's going to expose it. He's going to get rid of some of these departments that don't belong there any. And so they're afraid of him. And well, they should be, they really should be afraid. They've been poisoning us with these toxic chemicals in our food for so long.
You're absolutely correct, Kim. Just really quick for everybody watching here, let me just play this clip from RFK Jr. saying exactly what you just said about our food supply.
About 75% of FDA's budget comes from regulated industry, and that means food processors and pharmaceutical industry. All of them profit from a sick population.
Yeah, so Kim, I'm sure it makes you shake your head every time you have to hear RFK Jr. highlight exactly what they've been doing with our food supply.
I have to tell you something. I went the other day. It was my youngest grandson's birthday. He's 2 years old. I went. And I think I'm in denial sometimes because I'm optimistic. I want to think the best, but I know that there's bad stuff in candies. And I wanted to find a little candy to put in these little gift things I was giving to the other kids for his birthday. Do you know that I went up and down the aisles? And let me tell you, every single candy had artificial flavors, artificial colors, red dye, all these things in them. And corn syrup was either number one or number two. All these things have been pushed on us and pushed in our foods, and they are making us sick and toxic. Is there any wonder that our children are obese, that we're obese, that we're eating 30 to 40% more calories every day, trying to get minerals and vitamins that aren't there in the food? We're not supposed to run on artificial colors, artificial flavors, and all these chemicals that are based in oil. The Rockefellers came in and all the pharmaceuticals are based out of this. So he's going to expose all this.
Yeah. Okay. So Kim, since you brought up the oils, let's just play a clip for everybody. Here is RFK Jr. talking about the seed oils in our food.
Why should people be worried about these kind of products?
Seed oils are one of the most unhealthy ingredients that we have in foods. And seed oils, the reason they're in the foods is because they're heavily subsidized.
So when you heard of the announcement that Make America Healthy Again was going to become a reality, what was kind of like your first thoughts?
I was exhilarated, to tell you the truth. I honestly wanted RFK Jr. to be the vice president. The more I thought about it, I thought that would just freak these demon rats out if he ran with, with Trump being a Democrat at the time. But anyway, long story short, or an independent, but long story short is I was exhilarated because this guy, when he was younger, he wanted to be a scientist. I don't know why he ended up being a lawyer. I don't know that story, but he is very science-based. And I think it's done well with him being a lawyer, because a lot of the cases that he's represented have needed the science behind it. For instance, he did a lot of cases I know with mercury poisoning from the Hudson River, mercury poisoning from vaccinations. He's aware of all these things, the lead contamination, all of these environmental toxins that we're ingesting in our food supply. We've been lied to. We have been lied to for years, and the truth's going to come out. The light's going to shine. God bless him. God bless him.
Right. I've heard RFK Jr. say something along these lines. The food that my grandparents were eating is different than what we're eating today. And I'm not too sure a lot of people still understand how big of a difference. Like you were saying, you went to the store and you were looking at the candy and you saw all this craziness in the on that back label, right? And some of the words we don't even know how to pronounce. I mean, what do you think about that statement? Is that fair to say?
You are spot on, because go back generations. People were farming in there. They had little victory gardens during World War II. They were using manure from their chickens that they were raising so they could eat the fresh eggs. They were using, if they had a cow they were milking or a goat, they were using the manure, or a horse. 100 years ago, there, barely were cars. And so who's benefiting from artificial fertilizers? Well, guess who? The chemical companies, the pharmaceutical companies, the oil companies. I have a little farm, 8.5 acres, and I used to grow, as I'm getting older, I'm not doing this but as much, but I used to grow over 50 different vegetables, and I hand weeded and I did everything, and it was all organic. And I've been eating organic since I was 20 years old, and I fed my kids organic. And so they grew up with eating this way, and they very rarely got sick when they were kids. But the whole thing is, you've been lied to, people. You've been lied to for generations. And it's not your fault, because they have been very manipulative in order to keep in power and to make you sick. We're more easily controlled when we're sick. So getting back to the gut, why is the gut so important? Because the gut is kind of like, we were talking about Louisiana and Mississippi. Well, the swamps. I'm going to compare it. I'm going to do an analogy. I love Trump. He's going to clean the swamp. RFK Jr. is going to get in there and clean the swamp. That's what the purpose is here, so we can make America healthy and great again. In our gut, when we've eaten all these processed foods, and we've eaten these foods that are filled with the artificial chemicals and fertilizers and the heavy, leads and mercuries and all these things that have been in our food supply for so long. Well, guess what? That injures and creates a swamp-like condition in our gut. We don't want that, because when you have an overgrowth of yeast and fungus and bad bacteria, not only are you going to feel it in the gut, because you're going to have bloating, you're going to have gas, you're going to have indigestion, you're going to have GERD, you're going to have all these things going on. It affects every single organ, and the river of life is our blood, where it carries everything to every single cell. You're affecting your brain, your skin health. When people have bad gut, when they have swampy gut, they have problems on their skin. They have problems with foggy thinking. So the gut is core to our overall health. So we got to drain the swamp in DC. We got to drain the swamp in our gut. And we've got to put that homeostasis back in to really keep the balance there of the good bacteria and the bad bacteria, the yeast and the molds. And 70 to 80% of our immune system is in our gut. When our gut's off, the rest of our body can't operate properly. So that is the first thing to really change and look at.
It's just so interesting you say that, because how you feel plays such a role in being motivated to do something about your health. And I think that's the whole movement now with Make America Healthy Again. It's bringing new energy and motivating the country and people who have a say in policy to do the right thing this time around.
That's right. And it requires a little bit of learning. It requires a little bit of unlearning. It's knowing what to eat and what not to eat. But we have to focus on foods that really repair and restore our gut and restore every single cell in our body. And it all starts in our gut. So when we're talking about this, we're talking about the king of fermented foods, which is called kimchi. This food is known and used for centuries in Korea. It is a food that it is a it's fermented foods, I should say. It's got different ingredients in it, and different families make it different ways. A lot of people take probiotics. This has over 900 friendly probiotics in it. And it also has prebiotics and postbiotics in it because the kimchi is filled with fiber.
Wow. So this is fermented cabbage, correct?
It's fermented cabbage, but you've got like shrimp paste in there. You have chilies. You have, again, the Koreans make it in different ways, and they eat it every single day. A lot of them at every single meal because it's like their national health program over there keeps them well. They don't get sick so much. Yeah. And but it's got a really weird smell to it. In fact, a lot of people, when they first smell it, I used to make it. I've been eating it for almost 50 years. I love it, but it's so healthy for us. So it's a great food. And so we have come up with a plan so you can eat this food every day and not have to smell it, and you can make it if you want to, but we've come up with a convenient way to have this in your diet every single day and not have to smell it or not have to taste it. And it benefits you. I mean, there are so many studies out there. They did a huge study with over 115,000 people in Korea over, I think it was a span of 9 years, that showed that by eating kimchi every day, certain amounts, they reduce their body mass index, they reduce their circumference around their waist. This was men and women of all ages.
You know, I mean, I just feel like I'm ready to eat some right now.
But it's, again, going back to the gut, going back to the kimchi, going back to, I decided to put this in a capsule so people would use it. I decided to encapsulate it so you can take 3 a day. It's convenient. It's probably less expensive than making your own kimchi and going out and finding everything. So you have something where you can make your own gut great again and get that balance in there. And it's kind of like, I also use an analogy of war. We're fighting a war in our gut, and there's bad guys and good guys. And in most people, the bad guys are winning. So you got to send in the special ops. The special ops guys have to go in there and kill off the bad pathogens, the bad guys, because the special ops guys, they get the job done. And that's what Kimchi One, that's our product, Kimchi One at Brightcore, which I started 28 years ago to really help people. I've been involved for almost 50 years to make people healthier again. I had a near-death experience, and God put my feet on this path rather than be a model and an actress in Hollywood, which is what I was doing at the time. So I have direct experience. I have the passion. I have the intention for 50 years of making people healthy. And I started with myself, and that's what this product is all about. Start with your core, start with the gut. Use Kimchi One on a daily basis. It retains all of its benefits, like live kimchi does, because we use a special cold processing way to keep it in the capsule where it's retaining its fiber, it's retaining all of its beneficial bacteria. So you get the benefits daily. It's easy to take, it's convenient, and you can restore and really get your gut in great shape again.
For the people at home, like, you guys have to understand, let me share some numbers with you guys. 60%, I was actually getting this from RFK Jr., 60% of Americans live with at least one chronic disease. 60%, 40% have 2 or more. Okay. He also stated that U.S. spends nearly $12,000 on healthcare annually, which is the highest in the world. We're ranked 46 in life expectancy.
That's right.
And 42% of Americans are classified as obese, 30% overweight. And here's the one. I mean, just this right here really just gets to me emotionally. Childhood obesity has tripled since 1970. Over 20% of children today are obese and are on the borderline of diabetes, which is just insane.
Well, we're consuming all these calories because they're empty. We're trying constantly to get the minerals, the vitamins, the good bacteria, all these things, the proteins. We need these real foods in there, not these false foods. And that's why we're obese. We're eating all these empty calories that are filled with all this toxic material causing inflammation, causing problems. And that's another thing you're going to see, the inflammation going down. Yeah. You're making your gut healthy. That's what it's all about. Kimchi One is going to be your best friend in making yourself healthy again, making America healthy again, making America healthy and great again.
I guess my question now is, like, how do people access Kimchi One?
Well, I'm going to give a special today. It's the holiday season. I'm blessed. I'm so grateful for, God is in my life and this company is doing well and we can help people. I want to do a special today for you and for your viewers where they buy 2 Kimchi Ones. We're going to give them 1 free. And all they have to do is call 888-404-6312. And we have incredible educated staff there that are going to be answering the phones, making sure that this is the right thing for you. But I think just about everybody can stand to make their gut healthier and make their whole body healthier. And we're also going to help make you healthier too in this season of giving by giving you another free item, which is with your order, which is vitamin D3. And vitamin D3 really helps boost our immune system. It helps our bone health. It helps just about everything in our body work right. So the first 100 callers get a free vitamin D3, and then we're going to give you free shipping and up to 50% off when you call in. So please call us. And I'm just so grateful and thankful that we've been able to be on your show today. I really want everyone to take this seriously, to make themselves healthier in this season where we're already, eating so much sugar every day on an everyday basis, but come the holidays, we're really eating a lot of extra sugar and maybe alcohol and caffeine and things like this that are going to reduce our immune system and reduce the health in our gut. So please take advantage of this today. Make your own selves healthy again. Then we're making America healthy again and making America great again. And you do that by calling again, 888-404-6312. And I wish all of you a very Merry Christmas, a blessed Christmas.
So I really love that you came on and you got to share your experience and your story. And hopefully people will take it seriously because this is the time. I mean, we finally have someone who potentially is going to be in the White House that is going to push these policies that make better sense for our health and clearly will make us healthy again as a country.
I have thoroughly enjoyed this conversation with you as well. So I hope we can do it again another time on different subjects because I really have enjoyed it. Thank you so very much. And I wish you a Merry Christmas, a blessed Christmas.
You too, Kim. Merry Christmas to you too. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Now, that was such a great conversation with Kim Bright. We're definitely going to have her on again. We're even going to invite even more guests on to talk about other different subjects, of course. But here's a question I'd love for you guys to answer in the comment section below. What is the one thing that you learned during our discussion today in this video? Like just one simple takeaway. Maybe you didn't know it before, but now it's clear to you today. Please share your reaction in the comment section below. Now, we know that this nomination for RFK Jr. is huge, but so is Kash Patel. And so when Trump sat down with Kristen Welker over the past weekend and mentioned that it's a possibility that the FBI director, Christopher Wray, clearly is either going to have to resign or be fired, the FBI director ended up panicking and he came out yesterday and resigned, okay? And he made a huge announcement about it. So if you guys want to check out that video, all you have to do is click on that video because it's coming up right now.